Precisely. Two best buds. Precisely. Drinking beer and talking about stuff. Precisely. Bo and Tony. Precisely. Playing and reviewing games. Precisely.
Precisely.
Hell yeah.
This is episode number 10.
Number 10. What's up, guys?
How is everyone?
Good. I'm Tony. I'm here with Bo, and we have a guest today.
We have a very special guest. My beautiful, beautiful wife, Kaila.
Hey guys, what's up? Excited to be here
Why are you here?
because I told you
We
I should have
invited
been on
her.
the podcast.
because it's special. We saved Kaila for episode number 10 because it's special, and she's special.
Don't worry, guys. That's the lie they told me to.
Yes.
No, it's not a lie.
No, we're happy that you're here, babe.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, why are you here? Rhetorically speaking, it's because you've been a gamer. You've been gaming a lot.
I have.
And it's pretty cool seeing you game and complete games and all that jazz. Do you want to tell us about some of the games that you've recently beaten?
Well, I helped you beat Persona 5.
Yes, you did.
I played Song of the Deep.
Mm-hmm.
I beat Candle in the last few weeks in like 4 days. And we've been busting out Donkey Kong this
Donkey
last
Kong
week.
Tropical Freeze on the Switch.
Hella hard, guys, but it's really fun.
Super fun.
It is difficult, though. I played a little bit yesterday with Bo, and not for me, I think.
You were dying a lot,
Yeah.
just like Kaila. You guys are both good player number twos.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bo carries the team on that one. I have to admit it.
Yeah, and
I think it's hard just to switch back to the controls from PlayStation. It's
Absolutely.
kind of difficult just to get that.
You have to relearn it
yeah.
sometimes.
I mean, the layout of the buttons are completely different. But about Tropical Freeze, to me, it was an amazing multiplayer game just to jump into. Beautiful graphics. It's your traditional Donkey Kong game for the Super Nintendo. But the multiplayer, you both play at the same time. So with the Super Nintendo version, when player 1 died, then player 2 could play. And that's how that game was. So I really like this updated version where both people are playing at the same time. But damn, is it difficult.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to be careful. Thank you. You definitely have to be careful because there have been a few times where I've died and then before I could come back to life and get down onto the where Bo was, he died too, and then you had to restart the whole
Yeah.
level from your last checkpoint.
But it's a lot of fun. It's really fast paced. Especially we're on world number 5 now, or island 5, and I believe there's 6 islands, and it's getting super intense where you just have to race through the level and try not to die.
It's really difficult.
We've died so many times where luckily you can buy extra lives, buy more balloons, and I think we were up to 40 lives, and we used them all.
Yeah.
So now it's resetting back to oh, here's 4 lives, and it's well, if we both died twice, we gotta restart it again. So we'll see if
Lots
we
of
can finish it.
replaying.
I think we can. One thing that I didn't like about it, that maybe I'm completely wrong, but I just tried playing one player on our save file, and for some reason it doesn't allow that. But the good thing about it is that, it sort of forced you to get in there and play. There's also an easy setting, which is Funky Kong, and that's who you've been playing.
I have
So
Funky
you have,
Kong on his surfboard.
Yeah, so you have an extra 5 lives. Or an extra 2 hearts, I guess. So 5 hearts altogether, whereas
didn't
my
know that.
character only has 3. What don't you like about the game though?
I don't like that it is so easy to die. And that just might be my lack of skill in the game, which it probably is. But I mean, one misstep and
Yeah.
there's no saving yourself. Like,
I mean, it's definitely a platformer, and a quick platformer where timing is key for everything. So let's talk about Candle, though. That was a game that you recently beat for the Switch. It was like Candle, the Power of the Flame, or something.
Yeah. Candle was a very pretty game, a really cute game. Like the little dude you play, Teku, he's this little, I don't know if he's supposed to
He's
be
like a
made.
rag doll or something.
Yeah, he looks like he's a little potato. I don't
Yeah.
know. He's really cute. It's a 2D puzzle game, which are games that I really enjoy playing. And it was a beautiful game. I loved the storyline.
What was the story?
So this group of people have been invaded and their villages are being burned down and their people are being killed. And Teku is the survivor, and he saw his chief, his leader, being captured and taken away. And so it's this mission for him to find his leader, and on the way he has to help other people in order to get the things that he needs so that he can progress. And he has to deal with these bad guys. I don't know. I don't remember what they're called, but they're
Pretty much what I've seen when you're playing it. Like, as soon as you like get spotted by the bad guys, they kill you immediately. So like, how
Yeah.
do you like get away from that? Like, how do you distract them, or like?
So it teaches you ways to not be seen by them. It's really just about timing, following their patterns and seeing when you'll have enough time to like run up behind them, or when you'll be able to like climb up the ladder before they notice you. It's definitely a timing specific
Okay.
game, but
There's a lot of like waiting for them to walk and then walk back, and you
Yes.
got to get in there just at the right time.
yeah.
And there's
then-
no lives with it, right? Like, there's
No.
no like game over if you die.
No.
Okay.
I mean, there are like save points, and if you don't save, sometimes if you die, you have to go pretty far back and
Okay.
redo a lot of things, which is
Gotcha.
frustrating because it's such a timing specific game that like once you finally get it, and then you have to go back to before you solved that one
Puzzle.
section,
Yeah.
you're like, "Ugh."
Yeah, I bet.
It's very frustrating, but it was a really fun game. The only complaint I would have would be that the moments where they had like the video story going, where it was narrated, it was really lengthy. It took a really long time to get through some of the storyline sections.
Was there any way to skip it?
No.
I hate that.
And it was, I mean, the story was great. I really enjoyed the story. I just wish it moved a bit quicker
Yeah.
when you were just like watching the video. I would have preferred to have skipped it, because by the time it hit like that, 60-second, 70-second mark, I was like, wow, this is awesome. Can we wrap this up, guys?
Yeah.
Thanks.
So what would you rate it like out of 10?
I'd probably rate it like a 7,
Okay.
7.5.
Is there any like replayability or no? Like, once it's done, you don't really want to go back to it.
No, yeah, once it's done, you're done.
Yeah.
I don't think it was really a game where you like for instance, in Song of the Deep, there were these extra things that you could find, like
Yeah. To like upgrade your
or
aquatic system.
like extra trophies that you could get, and it wasn't like that in Candle, at least not that I saw. So it wasn't something that I would be like, oh, I need to like get the 100% on this, I need to go back and play it again.
Yeah.
I would not want to do that.
Hell yeah. What about you, Bo? What have you been playing?
I've been chipping away at Bayonetta 2. I think I'm close to the end, but not really sure. Like, it's a strange game with an even stranger story, where you're not really sure how much you've progressed in it, because it's just battle after battle after battle. But pretty far in it. Been playing it on the Wii U kiosk and really enjoying that. Just sitting down in a chair on a kiosk.
Yeah.
A lot of fun. On top of that, Donkey Kong, obviously, Tropical Freeze. Played a little bit of Call of Duty again. How about you, Tony? Some Call of Duty?
Yeah, that's it. I didn't play much this week. Played a little bit of Call of Duty. My dad was playing on Unreal Tournament for the PS3 when I went over, and so did a little bit of that.
Nice. Is he enjoying the PS3?
Yeah, he loves it, man.
Nice.
He's all about it.
That
But he only-
$600 PS3.
Yeah, he only plays like one
Chicken
game.
scratch, boys. Chicken scratch.
Yeah, he only plays Unreal Tournament though. I guess he got some other Twisted Metal and stuff.
Is he playing that online?
No, I don't even
Okay.
know if I doubt people are playing that online.
Yeah.
But it's alright. It's a decent game. Just a shooter. So
Yeah. No, I'm familiar with it. How's your beer, Tony?
it's not bad.
We forgot about beer.
I didn't forget about it. Speak for yourself. Sip of Sunshine, huh?
Yeah, so
Lawsons.
Sunshine IPA. This came from our buddy and fellow listener Ian.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
he was up in Vermont again, skiing and snowboarding with some buddies, and picked out some good beer for us. So thank you, Ian, Mr. Hooks.
Yeah, this is good, man. And it says it's 8%,
Oh,
but
damn.
it definitely does not taste like
It
8%
does not
at
taste
all.
like
It's
it.
like a light beer.
Would you like to try it, Kayla?
Oh boy. All right.
She does not like beer.
I'm not a beer person, so please don't take offense to the sounds that I might make.
I think it's pretty good. It's a solid IPA. Oh, she's making a.
Oh,
she just
God.
shivered.
No.
Nope.
I think it's pretty mellow. You know, it's like
It has
a little citrusy.
it has a lot of hop to it though.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
But it tastes more like a 5 or 6%. But I'm enjoying it. It's
Oh,
like
no,
a good.
that's bad.
So what are you drinking on, Kayla?
I am. I'm double fisting today.
Oh yeah.
I've got the Windridge Farm Brewing Rosé Cider. Windridge is in Dallastown, PA. I've had a bunch of their other ciders, but not the rosé. So trying this for the first time. And then my tried and true Woodchuck Amber cider. It's one of my absolute favorites.
And that's local too, right? Sort of. It's PA.
I don't. Hold on.
I don't know either. So you're pretty much a
Naturally.
cider person.
Naturally fermented in the Green Mountains.
When-
Oh, it's made in Vermont. Okay.
I remember on our first date, we went out for Thai food, and I was like, "Do you drink?" And she's like, yeah, I guess a little. I don't know." I'm like, "Okay." Like the place I'm taking you is BYOB, so I brought like a 4-pack or a 6-pack of like a mixture of different types of beers.
Yeah.
Because I was like, "What kind of beer do you want?" And she's like, "Whatever." So,
No, I'm pretty sure I told you I don't really drink beer.
oh, well, I don't listen. And
See,
Some things
he
never
remembers
change.
it totally different.
yeah.
That's all of our stories, Tony.
So I was pretty nervous. And you seemed a little nervous too. You were like, "What do you think?" Because it was the first time you had Thai, and you were like,
Yeah.
"What do you think sweet and sour tastes like?" And I'm like, it's probably sweet and a little sour." And then I felt like a dumbass.
Yeah.
But
Wonder why.
obviously the date went well. That was probably 6 years ago. Close to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you didn't drink any of the beer.
No.
You had one sip,
It was awful.
and I was like, "Is there something wrong with it?" And then you told me, you were like, "I actually don't drink
Well,
beer."
I was 20 at the time, so
Oh, I didn't know that.
Dude,
Yes,
you
you
definitely knew
did.
that.
I didn't know that.
oh my god.
Oh, we gotta take this out of the podcast.
Encouraging drinking underage.
Oh boy,
Way to go, Bo.
not me.
No, you knew I was 20.
No, I didn't.
And
He was
that
trying to
worked
be
out
cool.
for you
Yeah, I'll
pretty
buy you
well
alcohol.
because I was
No.
your DD to everything.
There you go.
Yes,
Everywhere. I always had to drive.
that's true. I do like drinking. So either way, you didn't really know what cider was then. either. You
No, I was a good girl, so I didn't know what just about any alcohol was.
Yeah, I
Thank you
tainted
very
ya.
much.
Yeah. So it took a while, but then you found cider, sweet cider, and you're like, I like this.
Cider is my jam.
I like this a
I'm a
lot.
very big fan of it.
Yeah.
Any time that we go away, if we're like traveling anywhere, we always try to find like a local cider works or cider house or whatever, or we try to find local cider
Yeah.
like at
bring
a
back.
beer distributor so that we can taste it. I love trying new ciders. On our honeymoon, we went to this amazing cider house that was in this like refurbished farm.
Oh, that was so beautiful.
Oh my gosh, it was a beautiful place. They had some amazing award-winning cider.
That was in Ithaca, New York.
Yes. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Beautiful, like country, like background setting.
And then the next day we got wine drunk before 11 a.m.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, it
That
was
was
a good
fun.
time.
I think we spent all of our honeymoon money on alcohol, honestly.
For sure.
And like the second day.
Absolutely.
Totally worth it though. There's a lot of good wine out there and beer and cider.
That's what they're known for up there in them Finger Lakes.
Yeah. So, here's my topic. And I think you guys will like this. And I want to have like a good debate on why you
Oh,
choose
boy.
what you choose. If you were reincarnated into a household pet, what would you want to be? Kayla?
Well, I mean, household pet, that's a pretty broad spectrum.
So,
Yeah, so what would you pick? Like,
you
you be an
either-
alligator?
So
no,
there are people.
We're
People
not-
have alligators!
we're not in Florida.
Dude, people have
You
Think
didn't
how
alligators.
say
shitty
it
that
had
would
to
be.
be like
Yeah,
Maybe-
well, I was
maybe
just saying you
locationally
could be.
specific.
All right.
People have pigs as pets.
Yeah.
That's
people have.
So, exactly, you can pick anything. What would it be?
So if you're a
shark.
pig, you're a pig. No. What are you talking
People
about?
have small sharks.
We could have sharks if we got a big enough fish tank.
Yeah, like a 40, 50 gallon tank, probably,
no, it
maybe
has to
more
be
than
like
I had baby
70,
sharks.
80.
that. Yeah, there you go.
Baby
All right.
shark doo
So
doo.
either you're a fish, I guess, or a dog, a cat, a bird, like a parrot or a cockatoo. Maybe a monkey, but you have to be in a house, you know.
Yeah.
So
But
if you're a
but then-
pig,
but then you
you're
could
a
be-
house pig.
But then you could be a guinea pig. You could be a ferret.
Oh,
you
God,
could
I
be
would
a
hate
rat.
to be a
You could be a
rodent.
mouse.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Can you get that from Boomer?
You could be a rabbit.
I think I would want to be a cat.
Oh, I would totally want to be a cat.
Tony?
No, I would probably be a dog, definitely.
See, I think dogs rely way too much on their owners, and cats can just like fucking roam the house.
Yeah, well, it's my turn to answer the question.
Wow.
So,
Well, you're fucking wrong, Tony.
Yeah, Bo, can
Yeah.
you shut up, please?
Okay.
Thanks.
dude, I would want to be a dog because I like dogs, and I think they have more fun than cats.
Dogs just
Why do they
wanna
have more fun?
I don't know. I feel like they have a brighter disposition on life. You know, they just seem to enjoy simple things more.
It's true.
They do enjoy simple things.
Dogs are happier.
But have you ever seen
than
a cat
cats.
with a string?
Dude, yeah.
Or a feather or anything.
We saw that last night with the peacock feather glasses.
Oh, yeah. That was a fun art show.
I'm a dog person for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a dog person too. I'm an animal person. I just think cats can do whatever the fuck they want to and then just curl up next to you, you know, or like sleep under the blankets with you, which our dogs and cats do. But you don't have to go outside to poop, you know.
Yeah, I mean that's really like that's a kind of a choice, right? Like your dog shits inside sometimes. Right?
Yeah. I guess
Oh.
as a puppy, yeah.
I would definitely choose, if it were just between the two, I would definitely choose to be a cat. I think I'm very similar to cats, where I can be very disinterested in anything that anyone else is doing.
Yeah.
But then I can also want to be very involved in what somebody is doing.
And cuddly and
Yes.
soft.
Yes. I'm definitely more of a cat person. The more time I spend around other people's dogs, the more I realize I only like my own dogs.
Half the time, we like our own dogs.
3/4 of the time.
Yeah.
Quarter of the time we spend yelling at them, but no, I definitely don't have the patience for anyone else's dog anymore. I can't deal with them. But cats, I'm always down for.
So with the life you lived, right? Let's say you die tomorrow and you're reincarnated the next day. What animal do you think you'll be reincarnated to?
A dragonfly.
Probably not an animal. Do you have to be an animal?
Yeah, I guess you could be like dirt on the bottom of my shoe.
Or you could just be another person. You could just like... Dirt isn't sentient, bro.
You can be an animal or dirt.
Yeah, you pick.
Those are your options.
Be
Then
the
animal,
shit in
any
between
animal.
my fingernails and finger.
Jesus, Bo. So gross.
See, I think I'd be a goldfish.
So you'd live
Well,
for
that's
like
miserable.
a day.
Yeah.
No, a dragonfly lives for a day.
Yeah, but goldfish are mistreated by their owners most of the time. And their owners tend to be like 4-year-olds that win you at a fair.
Man, I just got deja vu. I felt like... What am I thinking about right now? I felt like I've always had...
How much
this.
have you had to drink?
This is my first beer today. I felt like I've always had a pet that I've been neglecting somewhere. Like a lizard or something, but like I haven't had a lizard in the longest time. That's
We
so
would
weird.
never have any type of reptile in this house ever.
You know what sucks about them? Crickets. Fucking feeding them crickets.
You know what sucks about reptiles? All
What?
of them.
All of them
All
suck.
of it. Just everything about them I don't like. Scaly, slithery.
Yeah, I saw a water snake today at Wildwood, and it was
No.
only like 40 degrees and windy.
No.
How big was it?
It might have been 1.5 feet.
No.
I
Little
remember
black water snake.
Nope.
I remember we saw an alligator snapping turtle at Wildwood when I was like just in elementary school. It was like a field trip. And we're like, oh my God, look how big that turtle is. And like our teacher was like, don't get near it, boys. And we're
Yeah, that
like,
shit'll bite your finger off.
we're like, fuck it. Like it was on the trail. And like we had this long ass stick. And my buddy just starts poking it. And it's not moving. Like its neck was out. It was just standing there. And he just keeps poking it. I'm like, why the fuck isn't it moving? And like we all get our own stick and we're all poking at it. And then finally someone like pushes it over and it just like goes on the back of its shell with its fucking legs in the air. And it just died. Like it was dead already.
Oh, really?
Ugh.
It was dead already standing.
Wow.
How does something die like that?
I don't know. It might have had a stroke.
Do turtles stroke?
I don't know. All right, I got a debate.
Okay.
All right, are video games a sport?
Oh! All right. So
I'm interested to know what you think.
definition of sport to me is like on a professional level, it's something that you train for, you know, and usually physical training, right?
I agree.
Like
Yeah.
you have to be working out. So by that, yes, when it comes to esports, you're training. You are training probably more than most athletes train a day.
I don't think you can say that.
Oh my God. Think how much like a paid gamer actually games.
Yeah, but like
They're fucking gaming
when you're a
all the
professional
time.
football player or fighter, that's your life, revolves around that. You're constantly on a diet. You got to, watch what you do.
For a football
eat.
player, they constantly have to eat.
But-
But get big.
Okay, you don't
They-
know much
So-
about training.
They have to be on.
Obviously,
a lot
I
of them
don't.
have to be on like specific diets. They have training
Steroids.
schedules.
Yeah, it's not like you go to the gym for an
There's
hour.
I'm sure there are plenty of them out there that are on steroids, but most of them have to get tested regularly. Especially
Yeah, well, there's
on a
ways all around that.
professional- Yeah.
Okay,
but
either way.
you have to believe that some of them are actually upholding.
No, a lot of athletes and people use steroids for sure.
Yeah, I mean, there's
wouldn't doubt
also
that.
like herbal steroids too that like wouldn't necessarily like show up in like a urine test or blood test, but like it still bulks you up. So when it comes back to is gaming a sport or can it be considered a sport? That's what you asked, right?
Yeah, is gaming a sport? I say no. I say it's a skill.
There's definitely skill involved. So when it comes to esports games, I don't think they should use sports in the word.
What would you say?
Well, then, but what about like virtual reality? Because a lot of that, like when you're using the VR, when we're playing like Beat Saber, for example, that requires a lot of coordination. That requires a lot of movement.
I agree.
That's like a physical activity.
It is a physical
I can
activity,
see,
but that's also like a niche thing, and especially like
but why
it's
isn't
a
that
game
still?
though too.
So is Fortnite. It's the same, you know?
I think
you're
there
not
are
moving
valid
around.
points.
Yeah, but it's like a niche. You know, Fortnite players, the best Fortnite players in the world pretty much play Fortnite. Like, they're not the best at Fortnite and the best at another game. Their niche is Fortnite.
Actually, Ninja, the biggest guy when it comes to
Yeah.
Fortnite and stuff, he like won a championship in Apex.
Yeah.
So
I know, I said
Yeah.
most.
okay, all right. Well,
I knew you were going to say that.
wrong.
I think there are valid points on like both sides of the argument, but I know that if somebody came up to me and they were like, "Yeah, I'm an athlete."
Yeah, no.
And I was
so
like-
no, I disagree with that. You're not an athlete if you play esports.
But when you're playing a sport, you are an athlete.
So it goes back to the question: is gaming a sport, or can it be?
Okay, so if
So,
somebody
no.
if
I
somebody
say
was
no.
talking to you and they were like, "Yeah, I'm super into sports," and you were like, "Oh yeah, what sports do you play?" And they
Esports.
said, they said,
I'm like, you're fucking ass.
I
Get
played
outta here.
2K19.
super into Fortnite, you know,
like some chubby 16-year-old.
I don't think
I
they're
think
the
they
same.
would be saying it as a joke.
I
I mean, maybe someday people will talk like that. I don't know. You definitely have to train. You have to train with your team because most esports are team based. It takes dedication for sure. But no, you're not on a special diet for it. You know,
I
you're
don't
probably hardly eating because you're playing so much. You're on like a diet of fucking Mountain Dew and caffeine pills.
Well, I'm sure everyone takes it differently because any type of, your body's obviously going to perform better when you're exercising and eating right. Your brain's going to function better. Your reaction time's going to be better.
That's
so
true.
doing stuff like that is going to benefit any aspect of your life, whether you're a gamer or a professional athlete, whatever
see,
you
but
do
there
with
it
your life.
is. I think most people who do game don't try and say that they're like they're acting in a sport or anything. Like
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
saying like, no,
I'm
I've
a
been
gamer.
gaming all night. I'm a gamer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't think, I'm sure that to some degree they're like, this is my thing. This is my hobby, my activity that I do. But I don't think that they'd be like, yeah, this is my sport.
Yeah, but I don't know about the people that get paid for it, I've never.
Well, that's
I
their
think-
job.
I mean,
I
I think
guess
they
it would
say
be
that
good to
they're a
ask-
professional gamer.
Yeah.
Not that, yeah, I'm a esports athlete. Like, no, get the
Yeah.
fuck out of here.
Yeah, but I think that they would be more than happy to say like, no, I'm a professional gamer. I get paid to play fucking Fortnite. I get paid to,
Stream or whatever.
yeah.
Play Call
Yeah.
of Duty.
I feel like people who are at that level where they are getting paid and they're like nationally ranking or whatever the fuck you can do with games. Sorry, I don't know. I think that they're more than proud to just like say that. I doubt that most. I really can't picture a lot of gamers comparing video games to sports.
Yeah.
However, it is something that requires a lot of. It requires, functionality with like your knowing your finger placements. It requires hand-eye coordination a lot of times.
A lot of Pornhub on the side.
All right,
Maybe.
you got to make it fucking gross. Way to go. My husband, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, my wife.
All right, did you guys hear that they might be releasing a new Grand Theft Auto?
No,
Hey.
back to esports.
Hey,
Hold up.
I didn't get to do my topic.
No, back to
What?
esports.
Why do we have to go back to esports?
Because do you know that Farming Simulator is an esport now?
Yeah.
So think about those people that are playing that professionally, getting paid for that.
Well, it's like chess, it's a game of you got to think things out, right? So, is chess a sport?
No,
But people play in like chess tournaments.
doesn't make it a sport.
No.
Is it on ESPN?
Probably.
Chess?
Oh, I don't know.
No, but cornhole is.
Yeah.
Cornhole is a sport.
I think that's insane. I mean, I'm not saying it's not a sport. I just think it's really insane that there's like basketball, football,
not a sport.
cornhole, soccer. Like,
What?
I don't think cornhole's a sport.
so anyways, let's talk about my topic.
Okay.
So, I've been seeing a lot of commercials for companies that are creating games and controllers that help people who have disabilities,
Like Xbox.
that it helps them to be able to play all of the games that they also enjoy. So where do you think
Well, I
that-
haven't seen any of this. Can you give me an example?
So it's just like a controller that it's bigger. It has less like specific small buttons, or
Okay.
it has like general areas where like somebody who doesn't have like full use of their arms
Yeah.
or has lost a limb, for some reason,
Like they have a nub.
they're trying to be
Or
respectful
whatever.
about this,
Yeah.
Bo.
Well, no, I mean like
No, I mean it's true, but
I don't know
like,
the PC term for nub, but
well,
They're
that's why I
missing
just
something.
said they're missing it.
But I'm saying, like, if they have, like, Parkinson's or whatever. you know.
Yes, so it's easier for them to be able to control the things that they're doing while playing games.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think it's something really interesting to talk about. I think it's really cool to hear about gaming companies making video games much more accessible.
Yeah, it's
to
about
all
time, I
people.
think. It's about
I mean,
time.
it's well past time,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
I
Do
don't
you-
know if the technology was out back then. Like now we do have the technology now that gaming is such a worldwide thing and more accepted by others, I think now is a time and was a time, and I'm really happy about it. I'm really happy that everyone can enjoy games. Not everyone, but like, people
It's being
that don't
open
have
to
all,
more and more
yeah,
people now.
that don't have full functionality, like with their arms or fingers or whatnot, that the controller doesn't fit their hand or hands the best way. So what it is in the commercial, it'll be like a big circle, like a pad, almost like a mouse pad, that you can control by like rubbing your nub
Yeah.
onto it, and you can either have two of them. So like pressing up there on the pad would be like your triangle button for
Oh, right.
the PS4,
Yeah.
So it's mainly for anyone with a handicap, but it's more focused for kids that like want to play with their friends,
So I just pulled it up on my phone.
What is it called? Because I was
It's the
trying to
Xbox Adaptive Controller.
adaptive controller. Yeah.
By Microsoft. So it's a controller that you can customize to
Cool.
fit your needs or the needs of the person who has limited mobility. So it's designed primarily to meet the needs of gamers with limited mobility. It's programmable buttons. It connects to external switches.
Is
And
it
it's
wireless?
acceptable. I'm not sure. It looks like
It
it is.
probably is,
It looks like it is, but it's accessible for Xbox One and Windows 10 PCs.
It looks like
Um,
two little turntables.
Yeah,
kind
it
of,
does
right?
look like
It
a
does,
turntable.
and then like it's got other buttons. I just think that this is so amazing, and I think that it needs to be talked about more.
Well, when was it first released? Wasn't it Super Bowl? They had a commercial for it,
I mean,
I don't know.
it's definitely recent. It looks like
and it was like a long commercial.
as early as May 17th of last year.
Okay, but yeah, they had a commercial in the Super Bowl, and like I don't get teary eyed for a lot of things,
But
especially
handicap video game controller that gets you going.
It was
dude. It
so,
was so touching. I was just like,
it was
this is amazing.
It was a really well done commercial, and I think it hits us in a special place because we've spent a lot of time with Special Olympics athletes. My sister has special needs, and we see all of the people that she spends time with when she's at her Special Olympics events, people that have such a hard time doing basic functions and doing like things that we see as being so simple and so easy, and thinking that now they're able to have something that makes them feel even more like they're just like everybody else who sits at home and plays video games, because before they wouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah, and especially with the trends of games right now, like the third-person shooters like Fortnite, the millions, hundreds of millions of people that log onto that every day to play. And like, especially I'm sure in like middle school, high school, elementary even, a lot of those kids are playing Fortnite, and that's what they're talking about. Like, I can be driving down the street, and if I see a kid on the sidewalk, 90% of the time they're doing a Fortnite dance.
Hell yeah.
It's strange. And I don't even play Fortnite, but I'm like, oh, that must be a Fortnite dance. Like, kids fucking whacked. But
I mean, people are very serious about Fortnite. Like, parents are getting their kids tutors.
I heard that.
For Fortnite. I mean, because it's an actual, like,
take my money.
It's becoming this thing where, you can get into tournaments for it. You can get paid for playing Fortnite. And now that people are looking at gaming as being something more than just the hobby that you yell at your kid to stop doing at 3 a.m. to go to sleep before they go to school, people are taking it more seriously and seeing it as something that like a kid could do with his future, or she could do with her future. It's
especially, if your kid's not like an athlete, and they enjoy gaming. It's like, well, how can I make this a profession?
I just thought, this adaptive controller, and now that one company's done it, all of the other ones are going to be coming out with it too.
Hopefully, yeah.
I mean, to be competitive, you really should,
Or
Nintendo.
Or Microsoft allows it for all platforms.
They might. I did not read up completely about it, but even
I'm
still,
sure
I'm
trying.
sure that other companies are going to be coming out with it. I think it's amazing. I think inclusivity is so important, especially in all different communities,
Yeah.
the gaming community, I think
the gaming community has a wide door open for anyone, honestly. It's the best community
but now
to be
more
a part
people
of.
can get through that door.
Absolutely.
So way to go, Microsoft, on coming out with this and helping.
Still not going to buy an Xbox One, though. But yeah, I think it's great.
Yeah, I mean, we need more gaming systems. Like, I need herpes. So
damn. So that segues into my next topic.
Herpes?
Yeah, herpes.
Tony, did you want to talk about herpes?
Definitely don't want to talk about herpes or any STD.
Oh, damn it.
Well,
all right. Well, let me erase these next 4 questions.
My favorite saying, one of my favorite sayings, is that glitter is the herpes of arts and crafts because it never goes away.
Oh my God.
That's true.
And there's really not too much that's more true in this world, because there are still glitter in my car, in like the crevices of my car, from musical performances I've done from the past like year and a half, 2 years.
Yeah.
Insane.
So Kayla, since you're our special guest this weekend, I like to ask the guests a series of questions when it comes to gaming.
Okay.
What's your first video game memory?
Mario Kart. Isaiah, my younger brother, and I would play it at my dad's house, and we had this old keyboard that wasn't connected to anything. So we only had one controller, I think, or we had the game where only one person could play. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Exactly. But while one of us was playing, the other one would just be typing nonsense onto the keyboard.
That's not connected to anything.
It wasn't. But we would type nonsense on it, and we'd be like, "Are you ready for the boost? Are you ready? And go!" And we'd hit like the space button or the enter key, and we just were so into it that we would be like, "Oh, thanks for that boost. Okay, work on another one. And we type out more nonsense and hit all of these stupid buttons that like.
Oh, that's so funny.
It didn't make any sense, but it's a really great memory that I have of Isaiah and I playing Mario Kart and
using your imagination.
Yeah, I mean, making the most of the shit that you've got around, because we had to make it work so that we both felt like we were included in.
Because your dad didn't want to buy a second controller.
Well, I don't know. I don't really remember, but
So was that for the N64 or Super Nintendo or what? Okay, pause.
I don't know.
Okay. What did the controller look like that you
I don't
guys were using?
remember.
Was it a second keyboard?
I remember the keyboard. There's only one keyboard. I know that.
Okay.
But yeah, that's my first gamer memory. That, and there was a lot of Pokemon.
On what?
A Game Boy.
Okay.
I remember actually when I was like 7 or 8, we were really into Pokemon, and we were very into like Pokemon cards and the movies. And I remember we were out shopping at a store, and one of the newer movies came with like an exclusive card of
The Mew. It was Mew.
Yes, and it was like the holographic.
And it was the ancient Mew. I had one of those.
So I wanted it so bad.
Yep.
And my mom wouldn't buy us the movie.
It was purple.
If you went
So-
to see it at the movie theater, you got it too.
Yeah, that's how I got it.
Well, we did not have funds like that growing up, where we could go to the movies all willy-nilly. So I stole the Pokemon card out of the
No.
DVD packaging because it was like wrapped in plastic.
Call the cops.
And it was a VHS actually. And I was so guilt-ridden the whole way through the store, and like we got to the car and I was just terrified, and I told my mom in the car, and she made me go back in, and she made me speak to a manager and apologize and return the card, and it was one of the most traumatizing
So you broke the seal on that
experience.
VHS.
Yeah.
Did you have to buy the tape then?
No, I don't think so.
See, if I was a manager, I would have been like, well, you bought it now.
I mean, that would have defeated the whole purpose of teaching me a lesson, because I would have got what I wanted.
I remember going, it was like Indian Echo Caverns or something like that.
We're not going to talk about my history with theft.
Well, I want to talk about my history.
You've
And,
got a longer rap sheet than me, Bo.
Yeah, I'm only touching on a very early theft thing. And not that I'm a thief. I don't steal anymore. But there was like all these crystals in like the gift shop, and there was like this really cool one that like under the black light.
Of course it was a crystal.
Yeah, something that we have a lot of in this house. I
Yep.
collect a lot of things.
A lot of
Either way,
plants.
I was attracted to this rock, and I wanted it. My parents were like, "It's a rock. We're not buying that for you."
Really?
So I put it in my pocket, and my mom later found it like weeks later, and she was like, "How did you get this, Bo?" And I'm like, "I don't know. Like, I found it." She's like, "This is the same rock that you wanted at the gift shop." So she made me write a letter and send that back with the money that it would have cost too.
Damn.
So that was fun.
Jana getting tough.
So kids, if you steal anything, hide it from your parents.
No, don't steal, or you will develop a very strong fear of authority.
I remember
That's the moral of my story, at least.
I remember my sister would take me to the mall. And you know those, I think it was like Payless shoes, like where they keep all the boxes out for you to try them.
Yeah.
She'd go in there with like beat up shoes and fucking put on new shoes and just walk out.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah. Way to rat your sister out.
On a podcast. Yeah,
Aubrey, I am sorry
it was pretty
that
clever.
your brother has no sense of loyalty to you.
It was pretty clever.
Messed up.
So every time I go to like Foot Locker and look at the Nikes and I put them on, they usually only like give you one at a time. Have you
Yeah.
ever noticed that?
Yeah, they do that on purpose.
I'm like,
Well,
yo,
or they give you the box usually and walk away.
no, they'll like watch me. I don't know what it is.
You're
But I'm
shady.
like,
He's
I need
super
both
shady.
of them. It must be the beard. I'm
Tony,
like,
have
I
you
I
ever
need both of
stolen
them.
anything?
No, I need
Yeah.
both of them, and then I'll put them on, and I'll like fake juke them like I'm running out of the store, and I'm like, just testing it out. I've done that like
Such
the
an
past 2
asshole.
times. I mean, they laugh about it. They think it's funny. They're like, this fat ass ain't running.
Don't worry, guys. He wouldn't get far.
Yeah. How about you, Tony?
Yeah, I mean, we used to steal like candy and shit all the time at gas stations and stuff.
Ooh, bad boy.
Yeah.
What else? I don't know. I'm sure I've stole other stuff.
Anybody else you want to rat on today? Have you never heard that snitches get stitches?
There's a statute of limitations, I'm sure, so they're probably fun.
But I highly doubt
this has
that
all been
Aubrey's
like
gonna
over
appreciate
15 years.
him ratting her out like this.
I think it's funny.
Yeah, I'm sure she thought it was funny until you told however many people are going to listen to this. Well, let's move on to the next question, because if we talk about your thieving history, it's going to take hours and hours and hours. Because so far, that's all we've talked about. So, what was the next question?
Let me see. Yeah, sorry about that, everyone. I probably shouldn't have said any of that. It's fine, though.
Was that a siren I just heard?
Sirens are on our end. What kind of games do you like, Kayla?
I am a big fan of 2D puzzle games.
Why 2D?
Because I like that you don't have to move the camera to see things.
Okay.
I have pretty severe motion sickness, so wiggling a camera around a lot really makes me dizzy. It makes me nauseous. First, somehow I got through it with Persona 5, I think because I just got so into it. But when it's a new game I'm starting and I have to wiggle the camera so I can see things, it makes me so dizzy and so nauseous.
Yeah.
And I can't play.
Even Donkey Kong has been like that. Like, even though it's 2D, when it does when you're in barrels and it like goes into 3D and it like starts shooting you all over, like I got dizzy and like nauseous. I was like, oh my god, I can't even watch this. It was like a roller coaster.
Very, very dizzying. But no, I really love puzzle games, even though I get really frustrated with them.
Yeah.
A couple of times I threatened to break the Switch because I kept messing things up in
Don't break my Switch.
Candle or Donkey Kong. But, don't give me a reason to and I won't break the Switch.
Damn.
It's not the first time I've threatened to break one of your consoles, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got plenty.
So this is a general question to all of us here. What do you think? What do you think makes a good video game a good video game? Like, what element?
Like, what element above all the rest?
Yeah.
I mean, graphics, for sure.
I don't think so.
Graphics and soundtrack.
I think yes, nailed it on the head. I think soundtrack definitely. It's the same thing with movies for me. Like, if you have an awesome soundtrack, usually your game's gonna be good.
Yeah.
Like, games that have no sound, I hate. Like that one that we started playing, Limbo.
Oh God, where it was so quiet.
So quiet.
No, it was awful.
Yeah.
But it was also an incredibly boring visual game. I'm not gonna lie. Like, everything was in shadow. It was grayscale.
Yeah.
If that were my thing, I would probably have loved it. But there was no sound. There were no colors, or there was nothing that grabbed my attention from the get-go. It started off. There was no story. There was no intro about what you were doing, how you ended up where you were. It was very just flat for me. It was very boring. And then you die.
Yeah.
You died a lot. The fucking giant spiders just killed you.
Yeah.
It was a very boring game. If it had had a more exciting soundtrack or more exciting colors and graphics and displays, I probably would have been very into it, because those are the games I enjoy. 2D fucking puzzle games. But it was so flat and so just like the
boring.
Game was like when somebody talks to you with a monotone. That's how it felt to me.
Yeah.
Like I was slowly dying on the inside.
Yeah. How about you, Tony? What do you think makes for a great game?
I either need like a good story or just a lot of action.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something that you can get into. I remember.
Guns. I need guns. I'm Tony.
Yeah, well, that's what like Call of Duty. I like that because it's action the whole time. You know, you have to be in it, or like something with a good story. Obviously, God of War, or even like
Best story ever.
Such a good story.
you know, even Mario was a great story. Obviously, you know, like
what,
going
Mario Odyssey or what?
no, just like any of the like the original Super Mario Brothers. Like everyone knows the story, right? Mario and Luigi are brothers. He's going to get Princess Peach. That's essentially
Yeah.
I think that story is played out, especially with Mario
yeah, but it
games.
wasn't when the first ones came out.
But
all right?
that's what
So
you
that's what I'm saying.
expect with Mario.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what you're gonna get when
Or-
you play.
Or like with Pokemon, you know, you remember you watched the TV shows, so
Yeah.
there was kind of a story with it, you know, so it got you a little more involved, I guess. That's my point of view on it.
Do you ever think that there are some games where there's just like too much action? Like for example, when you play Odyssey, what is it?
Assassin's Creed.
Assassin's Creed
Yeah.
Odyssey. Do you ever feel like there's no time for you to catch up when you're like you are battling one person and then you kill them and then you turn around and there's another person you've got to kill? Or like,
Yeah.
do you ever feel in some games, you know, like I felt like that with Persona 5 a lot of the times when you would be in the mementos and you would run into one
Mm-hmm.
person, one like thing where you had to battle it out, and then the second you were done with that and you turned around, you were thrown right back into another one, like over and over and over again. I think that while it keeps things interesting a lot of times, it's very
Repetitive.
very repetitive to the point where I'm like, wow, I don't want to play this anymore if I'm just going to keep fucking
Yeah.
like if I'm not going to get anywhere because I'm just trying to, you know, fight my way out of.
Well, with like role playing games, like that's like the grind of it to level up. You know, not
Yeah.
that you have to beat them, but to get to the end boss. I mean, like you remember, both of us dying like multiple times near the end, and I'm
Absolutely.
like, babe, we just need to go back and grind, like, and keep saving, like, because there
Level
was
it
only
up.
one save spot like way before you got to the end boss, and I was like, we just need to keep leveling up, and I think we leveled up. I leveled up like 12 more levels,
Yeah.
and I was like, all right, now
Yeah, we did.
Now we can go back, and now let's go for the boss, and it worked.
Yeah, I know that there is purpose
boring.
behind it, but sometimes it gets very
Oh yeah, it's super boring.
yeah.
Yeah, and same with Assassin's Creed. Like a lot of it is new and fresh, but like when you're battling a lot of people, or even if you're being sneaky, like you're doing the same moves over and over again. So it's just sort of that repetition's not fun.
Yeah.
Whereas like God of War or Breath of the Wild, like so fresh all the time. Like yeah, you could be doing the same moves, but how you can fight each person, you know, is completely different strategy every time.
Well, and there's like a limited amount of like battles that you have to go through for those games, isn't there? Like it's not a reoccurring amount of like monsters or, you know.
It all depends.
I just from what I remember of you playing God of War, there were like so many things that you had to defeat
Yeah.
to get past them into that area.
Yeah, like you
where
wouldn't
it
go
wasn't-
back to that area and those monsters would reappear.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
So that I think I appreciate more most of the time than with, you know, like Persona 5 where no matter which way you turn, like another monster can always appear. Even
Yeah.
if you defeated 6 of them to get past them, when you turn back, 6 of them could still be there. Like could reappear.
Yeah.
But I mean, I see it from both sides. I appreciate the leveling up, and that helps you so much when you get to those harder bosses or whatever, but it's still super annoying.
Yeah, absolutely. Talking at your husband or not husband, let's say not husband. Because I want your honest opinion.
Oh boy.
Dating someone that's a gamer, that has a moderate collection. What do you think about all that?
Honestly,
Honestly.
Honestly, it really doesn't bother me that much.
Oh, that makes me happy.
I mean, I knew what I was getting into. I mean, if it would have bothered me, we would have figured that out when we were first dating.
But did you? Because I was remembering, our humble beginnings, and I did not have a collection when we first started dating. Like
You didn't have a collection that you displayed like you do now.
I had it all in a closet for the most part, with like maybe one system hooked up.
I have never really been that bothered by it. And that's mostly because I've never felt like on an extended basis that you like would ignore me for games, or that you would prioritize playing games over spending time with me or our families. So that's something that is very important. If I would have felt like you were spending all of your free time just gaming, or,
I tried to.
buying more games. Fuck you. I am speaking so highly of you right
now.
now.
I know, thank you.
And you're going to ruin it.
No, I'm not ruining it.
Shut up.
I appreciate that.
It has become a slight point of tension in the past few months, simply because our house has turned into a damn arcade, and it has been a little frustrating for me, feeling like I'm living in a game store. But I also appreciate that it is something that you are very passionate about, that you really enjoy doing. It's legal. It's not going to get you in trouble with the law, at least. It might get you in trouble with me. But, it's something that we can enjoy together. Like this past week, playing Donkey Kong was a whole lot of fun until we got to those harder levels and I just kept dying. And
but it was so funny.
I found it funny. You just got mad.
No, I was laughing too.
Yeah, you were laughing on the inside. But it's something that I have come around to really start enjoying. I really love like the
kiosk. You love the kiosk.
Virtual reality.
Yes, thank you, Tony.
Yeah,
no,
the PSVR.
I hate the kiosks. I would rather you didn't have the kiosks. But anyways, I really like the VR. I love Beat Saber. I really loved playing Tetris on the VR, even though it really didn't, like, it wasn't,
I want to play that tonight.
virtual reality with Tetris, but it was still really cool seeing it in like a surround sound.
It was cool
surround
looking, though.
screen like setting.
And that has a great soundtrack too.
Yeah, Tetris is awesome.
Yeah.
That was really fun.
Yeah, Tony, Tetris is awesome. You hater.
Depending on who you talk to.
Are you going to keep interrupting me or can I talk?
Yeah, you could.
Thanks.
No problem.
So yes, in a whole, I would say that it really doesn't bother me that I love that you've got something that you're passionate about and that you really enjoy, that you've found a lot of friends through, and you've, created this
persona.
No, that you've, joined this community of people that love gaming, and that, you've started this podcast because of how much you love gaming.
Yeah.
And, I'm really proud of you for doing this, the podcast, and for having so much of an online
presence.
Yes. Thank you.
Sorry, I'm not trying to interrupt you. I'm just
No,
trying to
that
help.
time it was helpful.
Okay.
But, I also don't want any other gaming systems in our house after you get this next kiosk, or I'm going to start throwing things out the window.
One more kiosk.
Yeah. And that's the last kiosk.
Unless I get rid of a kiosk, then I can get another kiosk.
With another shopping trip, sure.
Okay. Cool.
So, yeah.
I mean, that wraps up the questions that I have. Oh, actually, there's one more. This one's funny. Not video game related.
Oh.
So, we all like tattoos, right?
Yes, we both just got tattooed this past week.
Yeah, I got Mario with a Game Boy, and it's pretty dope looking. Just the outline so far. But I'm liking it. My Nintendo sleeve is coming along. What did you get, babe?
I got an octopus that's wrapped around my leg. I'm going to have a whole underwater scene on my thigh. So
Nice.
I already have a great white shark, and the octopus is wrapping around the shark.
It's huge.
It's really cool. Super dope.
So, Tony, you like tattoos too, right? Yeah, you have a few.
Vagina hand.
Yeah.
That's the nickname our tattoo artist gave him because he couldn't remember his first name, even though Tony is.
Yeah,
Pretty
I got a vagina tattooed on my hand,
No, you didn't.
but maybe I will.
I mean, you might
Do
have
it.
to now.
That's badass.
Right in the crease. Right in there.
Yeah.
So, if we could choose a tattoo for someone here in this room, what would it be? Like a funny tattoo?
Oh, it would totally be you and Tony getting like a connecting heart on your asses.
That would be pretty funny.
Is there a way we could do like a trifecta? Because I feel like we're a triforce.
A
Like
3-part heart.
yeah, 3-part heart.
Aww. Not on our asses though.
How about we get precisely?
No.
And I'll be PRE.
No.
You can be CIS.
And you'll be
Could be.
Lee.
You can be.
So you'll
Ellie.
be CIS.
CIS. I'm pre.
No, I don't
Okay.
want to do that. Thanks though.
What would you get? For
I
me,
would
Tony?
no. I would pick
I
out.
don't know.
I would pick out a dragonfly for you, Bo. I have an
I mean,
obsession.
that's not funny.
I have an obsession. You didn't say it had to be funny.
I thought I specified that, but maybe not.
All right, then I'll get
What?
Sir Poops a lot on your for a tramp stamp. Right on your lower back with an arrow pointing down.
Oh boy.
Probably I would put an earthworm like on your stomach. I think that would be funny.
What does that have to do with anything?
Nothing. Didn't you say it just has to be funny?
Yeah, I guess so.
Dude.
Then for you,
No
Tony,
one else has that.
For you, Tony, it would definitely have to be a vagina on your hand.
No, I think Tony should get like a Tetris block, like on
I don't think he's that
his knee.
much of a hater of Tetris, though. That
Dude, like a
Tetris.
Tetris block with like an X over it or something.
like the nose symbol.
The Ghostbuster sign.
no, the
Yeah.
Mr. Yuck face,
Yeah.
that they put on like chemicals.
Yeah, I
when you
remember
have
Mr.
children.
Yuck. I used to love those stickers. I'd put them on everything.
No, Tony, it would definitely be Bo's name in a heart on your chest. I make
Aw.
the comment a lot of times when the three of us hang out, which is regularly. That didn't make sense.
What comment? Regularly?
Shut up. So I make the comment a lot that, you know, I'm the third wheel on their date when the three of us hang out because
That's
they
true.
just have,
A ball.
Yep.
We have a ball.
and they have balls. Look at that.
Yeah. If you wanted balls, babe, you could get that tattooed on you.
I don't want balls. I only want balls if I can like click them together.
You don't want to click them together.
No, that would hurt. That hurts me right now.
You know, that the thing where you like pull one ball
Astro
and
Jacks.
it hits the other one.
Oh, Newton's Cradle.
Yeah.
It's a weird name for balls.
First,
Yeah.
Isaac Newton. Either way, this has been an awesome episode. Thanks for joining us, Kaila.
Yeah. Happy to have joined.
Absolutely. We might have you back.
Yeah, probably will since I'm here every week when you.
Someone's got to watch the dogs.
Yeah,
Too.
we need someone to watch
The dogs
for
are doing
sure.
just fine.
Yeah, the one's crying downstairs.
Well, nobody else can hear that, so they don't know.
Not. So, if you like this podcast and you want to listen to other podcasts,
Or if you don't like this podcast and you want to listen to other podcasts,
probably a better podcast.
go
too.
to gamingpodcastalliance.com, and all of the podcasts we mentioned, or most of them at least, on the last episode, they're on there, and it's great. Someone set up this website for us. So you can just go there, click on the different podcast logos. It'll link you right to their website or wherever they have their podcasts. And it's fantastic. You really got to check out these other guys. I mean, they're great.
Yeah.
And I would love if any of you guys wanted to give me any cider recommendations or any beer recommendations that you think I might like, because Bo sucks at recommending beers for me. So if you know,
You just don't like beer.
maybe I haven't had the right beer. I'm sure somebody out there who's listening could recommend a beer for me that I might actually
I'll give you the beer tonight.
enjoy. Ew, your parents listen to this, Bo. Jesus.
Disgusting.
So give us a follow if you're not already on Instagram at Precisely Podcast. Give Tony a follow at Precisely_Tony. And give me a follow at Bows_Game Room.
Yep.
Thank you guys for tuning in.
Thanks for listening, guys.
We will have our own website up hopefully within a week, and we will have t-shirts printed here soon. So
T-shirts.
keep in touch with us on Instagram, and you will know when that happens.
That's
We
right.
out.
We out.
Precisely.
Precisely.